Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Saying that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. Let's get down to it. 2025, we back with another one. Salute to everyone that's inbound. You already know. Let's talk about some of these hot topics, man. Hopefully everybody is in a good state of mind, you know, spirit, all that other stuff that goes along with boxing talk, you know. And we're gonna talk about something that I've been seeing a lot of in circulation, and that is Inoue, Naoya Inoue. As you already know, he had a fight in the early morning over there in Tokyo, Japan, right? And let me bring this up right quick. Ye Jun Kim is the latest opponent that no one was looking forward to. That Naoya Inoue went in there and stopped. Okay. Anyway, the IBF, WBC, WBA, WBO rather, super bantamweight champion, 29-0, 26 knockouts. Dropped Kim 21-3-2, 13 knockouts in the fourth round with the right hand. He was then counted out 2 minutes 25 by referee Mark Nelson. Pay attention. The fight has zero sporting value, as Inoue hit Kim at will for the entire 4 rounds. It was unbelievable that Team Inoue selected Kim as a replacement opponent. A better opponent should have been picked than this guy, but we don't know if the general idea was to ensure Inoue looked great, assuming that's the purpose. Kim was ideal. Another great performance by our champion here, said Bob Arum. I observed that the great country of Japan has given autonomy to Los Angeles, and at least for one fight. The great country Japan will give the great Inoue to the city of Las Vegas this spring. Arum isn't saying who Inoue 31 will be fighting, but for most U.S. fans, it's got to someone's actual talent because he's feasting a lesser opposition. If Inoue is going to fight in Las Vegas or Los Angeles, he needs to fight quality fighters American fans are less tolerant of the soft opposition that Inoue has been fighting than his loyal fans from Japan. Suitable options for Inoue in the U.S. fight: Gervonta Davis, Rafael Espinosa, Eduardo Sugar Nunez, Emmanuel Navarrete, Vasily Lomachenko, Angelo Leo, Ray Vargas, Andy Cruz, Shakur Stevenson, and Keyshawn Davis. Other than those fights, there's no one else that is appealing for Inoue to be fighting if he's competing in Las Vegas in the spring. Trotting out Sam Goodman as Naoya opponents won't work for American fans. They want to see quality, and at the minimum, they want Inoue to be in a 50-50 fight. I'm going to stop it there. 50-50 fight. Just so y'all won't feel no type of way about my thumbnail. I always considered Inoue to be that guy, another foreign fighter. Nothing personal against him. He reminds me of Lomachenko. You know, I mean, for quite some time, Lomachenko was campaigning at the top of the pound for pound list, and you say, okay, how did he get there? Was it Gary Russell Jr. that put him there? You know what I'm saying? Because Gary Russell Jr. at the time that Vasily Lomachenko beat him, he wasn't even considered great. He just was considered a highly skilled, I'm talking about a highly prioritized contender to be something special coming from where he was from. But if you really pay attention and ask yourself, well, you know, who did Inoue, by the time he stepped on the freaking pound for pound list, I mean, Lomachenko, who did he beat that was considered 50-50 fight? Who did he beat? That's my whole point. You know, when it comes to these guys, you got to say to yourself, who on their resume did they fight during their competitive prime that we consider they're competitive at the optimal level of their competitiveness? Skill for skill, age for age. You know what I'm saying? They're at their peak. When you look on these guys' resumes, who can you extract to prove your argument? Lomachenko beat Gary Russell Jr. and he went on a Tatakum, Rodriguez, Kawashika, Martinez, Waters, Sosa. Y'all consider them all great fighters. I said this before, right? The only reason I'm bringing it up again is because this man was on the pound for pound list, and I'm like, for what? Now we have Inoue. Inoue's been on the pound for pound list forever and a day, fighting all the way over there in Japan with opposition that hardly anyone knows. He used his affirmative action, his DEI, to come over here and fight Stephen Fulton. But he didn't come over here. He came over here in spirit. You know what I'm saying? He was over here in spirit. He was fighting a opposition opponent, a champion. They had to go all the way over in Japan. So, you know, I said this before, and you wouldn't believe how many people was just showing me how short-tempered they are when they want to defend a fighter that they really know little about. They just jumping on it. Oh, they look on the pound for pound list. They say Usyk. It used to be Usyk, Lomachenko. Now it's Usyk, Inoue. And they just up here, they'll defend Inoue like he has killers on his resume, yo. They couldn't even tell you who he was fighting in his early division. They can't tell you none of that. All they like to say back in the day is what? Monster. Oh my God, monster. He was a monster. A monster of what? A monster of what, yo? Who's on his resume that we would consider a 50-50 fight, right? Who on his resume that we was considered a 50-50 fight that allows him to have a season pass on the pound for pound list? Now, respect to Nonito Donaire. He is a Hall of Famer. But Nonito Donaire was older. That's going to be, you know, one of the names that comes up because he is one of the most decorated. Even him at his age was able to go over there to the WBC after he lost to Inoue the first time via decision and fight in the WBC and take the belt for Nordine Obali. But Obali wasn't considered to be anyone special. Yeah, he earned a little bit more notoriety when he fought for the vacant WBC title against Rashid Warren. But if you look on there, you will see the Maloneys. Was anybody looking for Paul Butler? For real. I mean, come on, man. Emmanuel Rodriguez, respect to him, pretty decent fighter. He was champion. But do we hear anything else about it? Who on Inoue's resume is basically a counter when it comes to the argument to prove that he's just as good as what we hold our fighters to over here in the U.S. Man, these boxing fans over here got to stop, bro. Y'all got to stop just giving these passes to these neighboring fighters, these foreign fighters, but yet y'all castigate the shit out of the ones over here in the U.S. for having a resume like this. Y'all beat them down to the ground with criticism. Whoop them anytime you get a chance. I want to hear the roster of killers that's on Inoue's resume that was considered a 50-50 fight when he stepped in there. Was it Paul Butler? No. Was it Stephen Fulton? It could have been. They didn't know. But I would say no. Even though Fulton was a unified champion, people didn't respect too much. They said, okay, you beat Angelo Leo, you beat Brandon Figueroa, you beat those guys. They were saying, okay, he has potential to do great things. It would have changed his life if he would have went over there and beat Inoue, right? But it was no one considering him to be great. When he didn't have a fight, you didn't hear anything from Stephen Fulton. Good guy. But, you know, he had his breakout moment, and he's trying to get back on the scene. Marlon Tapales. Yeah, he beat MJ, but who is he? Who is he? You know what I'm saying? He had the opportunity to prove to the world that he's much more. He's not just a one-shot wonder. Luis Nery. Yeah, he has potential. You know, he had potential, but guess what? He never really had consistency once he was able to get to that slot. He gets stopped in 6 rounds. Doheny, 4 losses, 26 victories. He gets stopped in the 7th round. Was he considered one of those fighters that had an opportunity to go in there who the fans was talking about? Hey, I think he's going to beat Inoue. What about Ye Jun Kim? Ye Jun Kim? Did y'all think that he was going over there? No, because he was a last-minute replacement. 4-division champion, okay, cool. I got it. Because we have some fighters over here that's multi-division champion. And like I said, the thermometer of respect is very cold. Oh, very cold. Woo, it's very, very cold. You know what I'm saying? It's not even room temperature. Just the way they just discard them like they ain't nothing. So that's why I've been like, I've never been a Monster fan. For real. And I really hope when he comes over here to the U.S. that he's matched up with some big names over here who's looking for the shot. He gets the opportunity to come over to Turkey Al-Sheikh and sign some sponsorship deal. My biggest curiosity is that Turkey Al-Sheikh stick to what he's been saying about these fighters. He want to put them in there for the big fights. I hope that is the case with Inoue, because I want to see him in there. I heard Bruce Carrington, Shoo, talking about he wanted what he'll do to the freaking Inoue. I hope he gets some names like that. But there's one name that I would like for Inoue, since he's a 4-weight champion. He's on the pound for pound list, right? I look at what Alexander Usyk did. I look at what Crawford did, right? And I hear the praise all the time about how Alexander Usyk moved up in cruiserweight and he was able to come undisputed. What he did in the heavyweight, I respect more than what he did in the cruiser. I respect it all, but he's gonna be more memorable, remembered by what he did by fighting two of the premier names of this era, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Okay? That's who he's going to be remembered by. And also, he's going to be respected for beating Joshua twice, not running away from it, beating him twice, and beating Fury twice, not running away from it. That's what I'm talking about. Those type of bookmarks that you put in a fighter's career and you say, oh, let me page back here. Man, I remember this. Wow, let me put my glasses on. I remember that. Can't believe the years has passed by so quickly. Man, my eyes have gotten so bad. I used to be able to read this so easy. You got something to look forward to. Now, what about Inoue? What are you going to bookmark in his career? Come on now. I mean, I done had these cats try to correct me. Facebook, they got that's a nursery over there. Facebook, them dudes over there, they are grown adults that never got off mama's nipple in time. For real. And they was goddamn in their teenage years up here asking mama, can you go get some more chocolate milk? Don't get the 2%. I want you to get the whole milk. It really fills my belly. I'm going to be in the house a long time. You get off work. I really need that nipple. I need to get that nourishment. They're trying to argue me down about Inoue as if I'm supposed to automatically have some access. No. Some switch to say I supposed to say nothing but good things about Inoue. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying I think he's a hype job. Just like I said about Lomachenko, just like I said about Anthony Joshua. I felt that they was hype jobs. I did. Lomachenko got all the praise because a two-time gold standard champion, which is respected. But his professional career has not been anything that you can sit up here and praise to the high heavens just because he stopped a Richard Comey. He stopped the Cambosis. He petitioned for the dang franchise belt. What about Inoue? What is he planning on doing when he come over here? Somebody tell me that. Who you think he gonna fight? I would like him to fight and call out Gervonta Tank Davis. That'll be a fight that we'll want to see, right? I mean, Tank getting so much hate right now. You got people goddamn standing in that position of attention, stomping their feet and shit, slobbing on themselves, so angry, talking about, oh man, I don't anybody gonna see that fight. I heard the ticket sales are doing great. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, this is the perfect point the WCS will put out there, right? We heard about September 13th. So you have a fighter over here from Omaha, Nebraska that's moving up 2 divisions. Why can't Inoue? Turki Al-Sheikh has already approved it. If Inoue is this great so-called boxer, and everybody kisses his ass every time he's in there fighting, absolutely someone that we don't project as one of the greats. We're not looking at his opponents as saying, man, I didn't see that coming. No, you just go in there and expect however it plays out. Inoue gets the knockout and you see it play out for yourself. You say, huh? Let's see if he stands up to the test of time when he gets over here to the US of A. Let's see if he passed all the VADA testing. Let's see if he's able to perform the same at 31 years of age once he touched down over here and start consistently. What is he going to have? 1 or 2 fights over here and then go back over to Japan? I mean, don't tease the fight fans like that. If he's that great of a fighter, challenge Tank Davis. They always talk about how small he is, right? Better yet, if you want to talk about small, and this how I kill him, right? This how I kill him, right? Them daycare, them grown ass adult kids over there. Some on here too, but mostly on Facebook groups, man. They have no clue. They're DKSAB over there. sitting out the back, sitting DKSAB over. Do you read? Copy? Don't know shit about boxing. Let's remember this about my guy Bam Rodriguez. Much respect to Bam Rodriguez. Much respect to Bam Rodriguez, who was on the radar and no one paid attention until he was in the top 5 on the pound for pound. They say you can't move up 2 divisions because it's weight classes for a reason. So if it's weight classes for a reason, what about Manny Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao skipped the weight class in his 8 divisions. 8 divisions. Manny Pacquiao has shown you that there's documentation out there with his name on it that he was able to climb that divisional ladder from 8 freaking divisions. Filipino now. 8 divisions, only one. Has Inoue did something like that? 8 divisions. Now, he has gotten halfway through that. He's in his 4th division right now. But get back on Bam. Bam went from light flyweight to junior bantamweight. Once again, from light flyweight, legendary shit Bam did, and people don't talk about it like they should. He went from light all the way up to junior bantam. That's crazy. That's just crazy. He goes up there when WCS had put it out there that all those franchise belts that were floating around at 135, it was only a matter of time before Mauricio Suleiman inserts another one. It was only a matter of time. I said this back then. For real. And sure enough, he gives Juan Estrada the franchise belt, which freed up the WBC belt. So it was supposed to be Sor Rungvisai and Carlos Cudras to fight for that WBC title. So Rungvisai got sick. So who comes in? And goddamn Jess Rodriguez, the Lone Ranger, comes galloping in that bitch. Jumps off the horse and start whooping ass. He beat Carlos Cudras. Turned back around. Look, after he won the belt. Didn't run. Did not run. And defended against a very experienced fighter in Rungvisai and knocked him out. Not only that, he drops back down. He picks up a vacant WBO title. And then he fights Sonny Edwards. Beat him and unify. Then he goes back up to fight the man, Juan Francisco Estrada, yo. The one who was up there and joined his fights with Roman Gonzalez, a.k.a. Chocolatito. Sonny goes back up that motherfucker, yo. And he fights Juan Francisco Estrada, who at one point in time was sitting as high as 8 on the pound-for-pound list. And he stops him. You better know what division Juan Estrada is in right now. Juan Estrada is not in the Superfly division no more. All because a Bam went in there and did his thing. And you're trying to tell me a fighter can't move up 2 divisions? Bam Rodriguez did. Why doesn't Inoue do it? He's supposed to be this Japanese hype. These fighters, the only reason I'm like pretty much highlighting them in the brightest freaking ink as possible. You know what I'm saying? Neon green, yellow, bright blue. Because you all talk about them with no hesitation to say good things about them. I mean, the praise is unbelievable. Y'all have no hesitation when it comes to Inoue. They refuse to say something bad about it. Like he has this influence over them. Like he has this status of royalty or something. The dude barely says anything. And y'all give him love like he's just knocking out big names, like he's going over here just doing his thing. Bro, I think the time is ticking that he's going to get that wake up. You know, when the alarm clock goes off and he's over here with them dogs, that the cage been open for quite some time. I think real talk, he's gonna have to show me. He got to show me for real, because I don't think he can do it. I don't think he get over here. I don't think he gets it done. If he really want a big super fight against somebody who's supposed to be 50-50 with him, he should call out Tank Davis at 135. Yeah. Go from 122 all the way up. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to get a tune-up, go to 26, goddammit. Do something incredible. If you want some of that Rafael Espinosa work, go ahead, try it out. Go ahead. I think Espinosa give Inoue the business. I think he gives him the business. He will absolutely have problems with that tall, rangy, lethal sniper in Espinosa. And then also Bruce Carrington. He's sitting down there. He's waiting for his shot. He said he was ready. Him and Keyshawn Davis, and you know, having the white couch freaking movie session, you know what I'm saying, talking about fighters they want to fight. He called out you specifically, Inoue. Do something that we haven't seen in a minute. Like, you supposed to be this big star coming out of Japan and now coming over to the U.S. with a sponsorship deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh. I mean, please, I hope they're not putting him in there with people that's in the bottom half of the damn ranking system. We want to see him up with some names in the top 5, period. Either champions, something. Because I put it like this. If you're a 2-time undisputed champion, you should be able to go straight up there to the top when you move up the division and fight the champion. You consider to be elite. So if you want to go up to 26 and have a tune-up fight, cool. But you want to do something spectacular, go up to 135. Challenge Tank Davis. You know, challenge them big names up there. But I would really think if your name is Monster, I'm pretty sure El Chinchecker consider himself to be a monster. You know what I'm saying? Well, y'all need to prove who's the monster. But I know they still gonna criticize Tank like they are now. You got dudes up here that have a freaking acute case of diarrhea right now. They were so angry about hearing Lamont Roach being the next opponent. They haven't been able to get out the toilet, y'all. It's a sad, sad situation. All the petty bullshit that's been going on, you know, they wanna bring in homosexuality to it, all because of Lamont Roach. One fighter has these dudes up here talking about shit that don't have nothing to do with boxing. That's all I'm saying. Nothing to do with boxing. But I'm going to stand on it. I think that Inoue, when he gets over here, I'm hoping he fights somebody with, you know what I'm saying, some star power. Their boxing fight code is up in the 7s. You know what I'm saying? 700 plus. You know what I'm saying? He needs to fight somebody that's up there so he can get full credit approval once that fight is made and he goes in there and find out it's different over here in the US of A. I guarantee you, y'all, I'm going to stand on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stand on that. Moving on. This thumbnail right here, a lot of people are not going to get, right? Pacheco is set to go in there against Steven Nelson. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my comrade in arms. But Steven Nelson, you know, it took off his shades. You know, Steven Nelson had made it a point to let the fans know that this is serious. He did something that you rarely see Steven Nelson does. You know what I'm saying? And that is let the fans see his eyes and how serious he is about going in there and letting it be known that this is a fight that he cannot lose. Or, no, don't let me say can't. It's the wrong verbiage. He can't, how would I put it? Well, I would say can't afford. I would say can't afford. He can't afford to lose this fight. You know what I'm saying? He said it himself. He can't afford to lose this fight. He said it's been hell on him coming up. You know, what he had to deal with personally, in the military, being blown up, all that. You know, the man probably has some PTSD going on, absolutely. But, you know, for him to pretty much talk to the fans and talk to Pacheco, he basically broke it down. He said, yeah, you're young enough so, you know, you can recover. You're young enough in the game that you can recover from a loss. But me, I'm at a point right now where I'm not trying to lose. I can't afford to lose. And the hunger has been that much more higher for me. You know what I'm saying? The reservoir, I kept on filling up the reservoir. I had to keep on going. My adrenaline levels was different. You know what I'm saying? I was peaking more than often in this fight camp because I knew this fight was a fight that could be potentially a breakthrough fight with Steven Nelson. This could be potentially a breakthrough fight. I just don't see, you know, this thumbnail. The last pretty boy era was Hector Camacho, Macho, man. Like, come on, Hector Macho Camacho. Listen, when you see these fighters that look like Pacheco, Edgar Berlanga, Ryan Garcia, Danny Garcia, when did they have their standout moment? I don't know, man. I'm not saying they can't be champions, but you know, pretty boys in the sport. I heard Benavidez Sr. talking about the face of boxing. And here we go again. Talking about the face of boxing. What are they looking for? A pretty boy? That era is gone. Camacho took it with him. You know what I'm saying? 3-division champion. Hector took it with him. Them fighters right here, they're not following in Hector Camacho's footsteps. Even Pacheco. I'm not believing what's going on with Pacheco. I don't know why people look at him as if he has fought somebody that we have lost sleep over. He hasn't fought anybody that we losing sleep over. Come on. Come on, let's be real with ourselves, man. Wake the heck up. Who has he fought that we're losing sleep over for him to go in there and run amok? Run rampant over Steven Nelson. Who? This right here is a 50-50 fight. I don't know where people are coming from. This guy went the distance with Selecki his last fight. You know who Selecki is. Yeah. You know him. Do your research. Why are they saying he's going to run and knock out KO freaking Nelson in very minimal rounds? I mean, bro, is it an airborne virus out there again I don't know about? For real. Just help me understand. Is it? Are we dealing with something from overseas again? Is there been a known case of side effects from the vaccinations? You know, is something going on with these fight fans? Because I just don't gather where they pick and choose, especially the pretty boys. They'll sit up there and just give them all the keys. This is the key to my heart when it comes to boxing. Oh, my God, you know, you have such potential. You know, you got the looks to be the next face of boxing. Yes, you do. You got all the looks. You know what I'm saying? You can wash your hair, get out, and don't put anything on it. It's still going to give you waves. Still going to look wet. You know what I'm saying? You can be the face of boxing. It doesn't matter if you got 2, 3, 4, 5. Look in history. All the greats lose. All of them lose 7, 8, 9, 10 times. But I'm saying to myself, you know, Pacheco kind of fits that profile pic. I'm sorry. I am being petty, man. I am being petty about this. It's just the pretty boy image. You just don't go over the top. I don't see, man. I look at Steven Nelson, the vet in him, what he had to endure growing up, all the adversities. I'm not saying Pacheco say I went through adversities too, man. Just look where I'm from. I get it. I believe him. But I just gather like People just use this terminology all the time about being surrounded with greatness, man. I'm like, why? Why don't people look at it this way? Crawford is a great fighter. Bomac is the mad scientist, great trainer. So why wouldn't people just exclude Crawford from being in the equation? Okay, add Bernie, Red Spike, freaking Esau, and Bomac. Okay, since y'all can't maintain focus every time a fighter come out of B&B, and you got Crawford, he gonna get knocked out by it. We're not talking about Crawford right now. We're talking about Steven Nelson, so cold. Why can't you just provide your assessment, non-biased, preferably, non-biased assessment, and just say, you know what, Steven Nelson, a tough fighter. ITC Boxing to You was showing some highlight clips of him. I mean, dude can box, man. That's gonna be trouble for Pacheco tomorrow. It is. I truly believe it, man. It's gonna be trouble. But I hear too often, like, when his name pop up, you have too many of y'all still running behind Bud Crawford from afar, of course, talking about what Canelo's gonna do to him. I'm like, stay on fucking topic. We're talking about Soko tomorrow night against Diego Pacheco, another Mexican fighter that y'all want to give the pass to. Yes, you want to give the pass. You want to give the pass. Yes, sir. Yes, you do. You want to give the pass. It always happens that way. You want to give a pass, they automatically look. This is the crazy part about it, man. I tend to go, left and right on this shit, man. The crazy part about it, they hyping up David Pacheco to go in here and rout Soko because of him being with B&B. But yet, you got Benavidez Sr., who is the father of David Benavidez, and they're sitting up there talking shit about his son David when it comes to Morrell. But all because they don't like David and they like Morrell. But they're over here hyping up a fighter. Look, I'm going to tell you how freaking contradicting it is. They're hyping up a fighter in Diego Pacheco who's trained by Benavidez Sr., all because they want to feel some type of way about B&B back on the scene. And they want to act like, oh, man, I'm going to hate on freaking Soko, all because he's with B&B and Crawford's fighting Canelo and all that. But yet, over here, Morrell, they're doing what? They're dogging them the fuck out. They're bringing up all other shit, this, that, and the other. Morrell gonna knock Benavidez out and all this shit. Make up your fucking mind who you want to support, dog. Real talk. Make up your goddamn mind on who you want to support. Can somebody tell me? Like, can they make up their mind who they want to support? Benavidez Sr. is training, you know what I'm saying? And that's the son of Benavidez Sr. But people say, oh, Morrell gonna knock him out because he can fight, he got power and all this other shit. But then, when it comes to Diego Pacheco, Benavidez Sr. is training. And they sitting up here, he's not even established like Benavidez. Look, he's at 168 where Benavidez used to be. And Senior's up there saying he's going to be the face of 168. He's going to be the face of 168, yo. And I just don't see it, man. I think Soko gets the job done, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think he gets the job done, man. You can't sit up here and have those sayings out there. You're surrounded by greatness, so you're bound to learn something. You know what I'm saying? You're bound to improve your IQ. You're bound to make those adjustments. I mean, you have a coach who showed you clearly that they're all about the curriculum by cracking open those search engines and watching film. They showed you they was all about sitting down and patiently studying. They showed you that they was professors. They showed you that. July 29, 2023. And many fights before that. They showed you they're willing to crack open the video and break down fights and properly prepare those soldiers that they got in them, the gladiators, to cross the battle lines and go over there to war. Superb track record, right? So why wouldn't it be the same for So Cold? I mean, why would it be, like you're carrying around a cachet of doubt? What fight? He's undefeated. For those of you that's hating on Steven Nelson, it's more so because you still up here, you have that, that attachment to Bud Crawford because he's easy to call out his name. And y'all can't even have a conversation about Soko without bringing up Canelo and what you believe he's going to do. All I'm saying is, goddamn, silence. Silence. Stay on fucking topic. There's nothing wrong with being the air of confidence, okay? But this dude is undefeated and he can box and he can fight. And being that he's in a stable where his trainer, his head trainer, his team, they would never get on camera and say, I don't look at film. Nah. I think that's infectious when it comes down to it, looking at film. Because, what the heck does trainers look at film for if my fighter's, he's not going to fight my fighter like he fought his last opponent. We should just, go in there and pull up some old Tabo freaking videos of some fitness and strength and conditioning. Some old Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I'm saying? Some old Schwarzenegger. Some Lee Priest. You know what I'm saying? Some Lee Haney. And get some goddamn workout tips and get him in tip-top condition. Because at this point in his career, it's no more teaching. No, they pretty much go in there. They watch film. And they come up with a plan based off certain areas in which they believe that fighter is deficient. Right? So I'm gonna leave it like that. I believe that it's gonna be So Cold's best performance. I don't take nothing away from Pacheco. I don't. But it's a lot of areas that he's unproven in, of course, being his young age. And I don't see that special, stamp up there yet. I haven't seen that halo shine bright over him yet. I haven't seen it. Like, once again, I have nothing against Diego Pacheco. But I just don't see it yet. Like, I haven't seen anything. I haven't witnessed anything to say that he goes in there and run amok over Steven Nelson. I haven't been able to pull up any films that I had to save to my watch list of Pacheco fights. But you do get a sense of edge when you watch Steven Nelson highlights and the work that he put in. Not just a headhunter. You know how some fighters, they just hunt, and no matter how many shots they miss when they headhunt, they just keep on doing the same shit over and over again. No, he hasn't showed that remediated deficiency. But what he has shown is that you can clearly see within his fight cam and those who are considered to be the trainers and teachers, you can see that they're constantly, working towards that improvement. So I got Steven Nelson winning via decision. But I wouldn't put it past him that he can go in there and stop Pacheco via TKO. That's just me. All right? That's just me, y'all. Let me go to the chat right quick. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. I'm glad there's certain people over here, showing attention to strays. But if you're not talking about boxing, I will practice on my penalty kicks. If you're not talking about boxing, I will get you up out of here. I agree with the Inoue takes. I think we'll find out if he is who they say he is at 126. That's all I'm saying. I haven't seen it yet. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sir C in the building, Jay in the building, MOS in the building. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. What's good with it? Blue Hustle in the building. What's good with it, Blue? Jamal Neezy in the building. Salute to you, man. CJ in the building. Inoue is a weight bully. He needs to move up in weight. I just don't want him to go over here and half step and fight some of the mid to low tier fighters when he's already a full division champion, 2-time undisputed. The expectation level is high. So if you're coming over here, so-called, making a grand entrance in a footprint that we've seen plenty of grand entrances over the years. We've seen plenty of fighters come over here that was special. You're no different until you step in there with one of the big names that's over here already and show them that you like that. Show them that you like that. I don't think you get past Keyshawn Davis, to be honest, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, people say what they want, man. But if he takes a fight at 126, I hope it's against a champion. That's all I'm saying. So the thumbnail is one I've already used before. And the only reason I'm going to briefly talk about this is that, I've been in some convos, right, where certain individuals are all hyped up about the tournament. And if you notice, I have Mario Barrios in the background, taller than everybody else because I feel that he has the better resume. He has the better competition on there, right? Mr. Elasteca. But I have Ennis off to the side for a reason, because Ennis is supposed to be one of the bigger names at 147, and he's the one that set the fight Stanthionis in the unification. But the reason why I have him out to the side, because he might be left out in the cold, bro. Real talk. I'm trying to figure out how does Ennis, like I said this morning, how does he even fit in to the benefits package, the perks? What is the perks of Jaron Ennis? Just to say he beat Stanthionis. How is he supposed to continue to adhere to the manifesto of him becoming undisputed in the welterweight division? How is he supposed to adhere to that if he's going up here fighting Teofimo Lopez? That has nothing to do. He doesn't have a belt. See, this is what I'm saying that he's kind of getting over. Like, instead of him fighting Richards and Hitchens, people up here saying, oh, man, you move up, you shouldn't move back down because, ward on the brain is tough and this, that, and the other. Unless you Jess Rodriguez and you could do that. But I'm saying to myself, Teal, what's the purpose of you unifying with Richards and Hitchens if you ain't going to be there at the division? You should go up there and fight a Brian Norman Jr. or Mario Barrios. So if you to fight Jaron Ennis, it would be for 3 belts, not his belts. Just totally. It would be you're holding a belt and he's holding 2 belts. It will be a unification to consolidate the 3 out of 4, and then you can have the finale against Mario Barrios. In my opinion, who's deserving of a finale. That's how I see it. That's how I see it playing out. I think that would be a bit more entertaining to me to see T.O. go up and fight Norman Jr. or Barrios, and then go up there and unify with Jaron Ennis, and then the winner of that can go on the Barrios. But they have Jaron Ennis up here fighting T.O., and then whoever win that, they fight Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, who would not have belts at 147 pounds. I just look at this shit. I was like, oh my God, man. It's wicked. Wickedly deceptive. Like, I got to ask myself, Ennis, are you staying on, like I said, T.O., are you planning on staying at 147? How does this even benefit what you said you was trying to do? What are we missing out here? I mean, how does you having 2 fights, which prevents you from progressing on to complete your undisputed quest at 147, if you're fighting a 2-fight deal with previous 140 pounders? How's that gonna benefit you the way they sitting up here talking shit about Tank? How? How? Because Roach is a freaking champion. T.O. is a champion. I wonder, they like Ennis, so they might not show that type of vile behavior against Ennis, because a 140-pound moving up to a big 147-pounder like Ennis, I mean, that's the same amount of criticism they should give him, instead of freaking acting like it never happened with Gervonta Davis. And T.O.'s not a big guy. Ennis is definitely bigger than T.O., and he's going to be that way for a minute. The only way it gets a little interesting is if Jaron Ennis fight the winner, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. You know, you got a little bit more taller height, equality going on there. But, like Mario Barrios, he's pretty tall and rangy. I think 6'1", something like that. So I'm curious, T.O. fighting Hitchens, why? You're not even going to stay down there and fight a El Rayo or a Puello. And then you have Ennis, who's supposed to have been this guy who's saying he's on Unify, but the Turkey Al-Sheikh has him locked in with a Teofimo from 140. And look, Richardson Hitchens fight is not even at 147, bro. Like, it's the unified 140. So Ennis is going to fight a junior welterweight fighter moving up, and then 2 others who has to fight, and he get the winner. That shit, it's not right. You get a sour taste in your mouth. You get a sour taste in your mouth when it comes to shit like this, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I thought we was in the process of trying to establish some kings. Like when Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor fought. Both of them had 2 belts at 140. Just like we seen all those unification bouts at 135. From Lomachenko to T.O., T.O. to Cambozo, and Cambozo to Devin Haney. And from Devin Haney back to Lomachenko, who he beat and vacated the titles and moved. 135 has been idle. 140 is idle. 147 is idle. So for me, I'm like, if the Turkey was going to invite a tournament, those 3 divisions right there, 35 and 40, yeah, a lot of names. 47, it gets a little shaky. And the reason why I'm saying it's a little shaky, it's a proven point. Just because Turkey is having 140 pounders move up to face a fighter that's already champion there. I could see if that 147-pound tournament included Norman Jr. and Barrios. But he's up here having a lower division named champions from a lower division move up and fight. So once again, y'all should sit up here and quiet your gripes and complaints about what you're giving towards Tank. Because Turkey Al-Sheikh is pretty much doing the exact same thing you're complaining about. He's doing it instead of you all thinking that, oh, it's Tank's choice to fight Roach, so we don't like that. But Turkey, I mean, what are y'all going to say to Turkey? Y'all going to dog him out for making this tournament of fighters that used to be at 140 and 147? You might want to think about that. Process it. You know what I'm saying? Sit down with your HR department and say, hey, we need to come up and figure this out. How we going to address this? That's boxing, right? And then 154 pounds. We really don't know what's going on with that. Except September 13th, there has been word confirmed that the fight is happening. Once again, we have 232 days before Crawford versus Canelo, the fight that they was up here hating and wishing and praying that the shit wasn't happening. Did you hear what I said? They said it wasn't, it can't, it's weight classes for a reason, and the fight is confirmed September 13th. Imagine that shit. Imagine global warming. Boy, it's a lot of hot. Motherfucking hot. It's a lot of motherfuckers sweating. They start to perspire. They was filming, man. Goddamn it. Woo. They was at work. Goddamn. They had to be counseled at work for conduct unbecoming, violating policies within the community guidelines, nigga. All because they heard this news during their lunch break and came back and wanted to take it out on their compeers and colleagues. Man, my bad for yesterday, man. My bad. I ain't mean to goddamn throw a glass of water in your face and shit, man. I ain't mean to goddamn take my food and then smack you in the face with it. I ain't mean to flip your desk over, man. I didn't. Hey, Miss Lady, I apologize. I don't hit women. For real. I blacked out, man. I apologize. I hope you don't file no complaint against me. I apologize. I ain't mean to slap the shit out of you, man. I didn't. Okay? I don't hit women. All right? I apologize. You got some cats who are on the YouTube Central that have became intricate role players in global warming, y'all. 200. It's just the fact that I'm putting a number up there, and they was up here saying, no, it's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. WCS, stop kissing ass, man. It ain't going to happen. Once again, I tell you all, the ones, the haters, the creators, and all the Crawford fakers. I tell you all, as much hate as y'all put out there, the only thing you're doing is providing that man nutritional value and fuel him to work that much harder in these 8 upcoming months. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. That is all you're doing. It's not up to me to stop reminding you of who is set to dethrone Canelo Alvarez September 13th. That's the date, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's not up to me to stop reminding you. I have to. It's within me to do that. It's my Call of Duty, man. Y'all said it wasn't going to happen. Y'all can't deal with the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't deal with the truth. Heavy as a head who wear the MF and crown. Y'all can't deal with the truth. Now, look, I don't want to go so far as to say that Canelo might be in a prone position, low crawling away from the wrath of Bud Crawford come September. But goddamn it, you definitely going to see some thumbnails floating around from WCS to remind you every time I feel like it that what you said wasn't going to happen is actually official now. So I'm hoping that y'all understand that this language that y'all continue to use, I can't, he can't, you can't. You know, you using this can't syndrome that you have. You know what I'm saying? You need to get help for saying can't so much. Maybe it's a medication, a prescription that you can ask your doctor. Maybe it's some type of chemical that you can just put in your everyday smoothie that can enact your endorphins and shit. You know what I'm saying? Why don't y'all calm the fuck down? Because I want y'all to be free. For real, I want y'all to be free out here when September come around. I don't want you up here. You have to go the back and fighting, you know, in the county just so you can use the TV, you know, to try to watch the fight. I want y'all to be free. But I want you to understand that all this can't, this hate, the fight is being made and y'all couldn't stop it from being made. Period. Y'all couldn't stop it. No matter what you said, y'all couldn't stop shit. Y'all still some little hoes like y'all was prior to some freaking Crawford and Spence. Y'all still the same hoes, man. The same hoes that took a little break and then came back and they wanted to hate on the Madrimov fight. He won that fight. You say he looked terrible, he looked old, and now he's set September 13th. September 13th, goddammit. Omaha Independence. Omaha Independence, goddammit. That's what the Independence Day is going to be. Omaha Independence Day. Shout out to everyone who once again refuted what could possibly go down. The ones who sit up here and do everything right the way it's supposed to. And they got God on their side. They got the faith and the spiritual enlightenment on their side. They will always succeed. Always, bro. And you rarely hear me bring religion into this, but when it comes down to the spirit of success, right? You know, in certain areas when you have many against you, you have so many critics and judgmental individuals that's finger pointing, and you tell, and they sit up here trying to convince you, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. All you got to do is go on X, and you'll see a lot of those idiots floating around. Now that the fight is made, what are they doing? They're projecting. They want to project a prediction in the worst way for Crawford. You have individuals that's up here that's literally fuming mad, and they believe that if they tell Crawford and say, I want you to go through what you did to Spence. Look, they want Terrence Crawford to experience the type of thrashing, the drubbing that he did. He delivered, he delegated, executed, applied, administered to Errol Spence Jr. Now they want Canelo to do that to Crawford. Man, that shit ain't gonna fucking happen. What the fuck wrong with you, man? The fuck wrong with you, man? Come on, man. I know Black History Month coming up. A lot of you up here really planning. I have a dream. God Almighty, I have a dream. That, hey, I know a lot of you all gonna be playing that shit, boy. You're gonna be tilting that bottle back. How dare you turn on Dr. Martin Luther King's speech in hope that another black man fall? How dare you cowards do that shit? How dare you? How dare you attempt to use our history against us? It's not even that serious, man. It's not even that serious, bro. You got 232 days to get your life together. Don't let this affect you at your workplace when you got family and friends that depend on you, man. Don't let Crawford affect you from afar because you just have all this vitriol against this man. Him and Canelo Alvarez has nothing to do with you, me, or anyone else. We volunteer our services to support these fighters. When your volunteer effort digs deep into your heart and you start to get that burn, all because your blood pressure is different, all because you're paying attention on somebody's channel that you don't like, you busy up here snitching, dropping links to my, there go WCS again, kissing Crawford ass. He talking about this, man. Man, what you need to do, man, you need to expose him. Hey, put him on blast. I am focused on rubbing it in your motherfucking faces. That's all. That's all. Because y'all said that it wasn't going to happen. It's weight classes for a reason. When the May date fell apart and Roman Mill had that Crawford was facing Canelo was facing somebody else in May, it was people out here saying, see, I told you that fight wasn't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. And then for September 13th, isn't that word trichodecaphobia? Isn't that number 13? It's supposed to be all spooky. Yeah, you kind of get the feeling when it comes to Crawford, like a little spooky. You know, you say his name enough, and then you look in the shadows and you see those eyes blinking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember, right? I mean, it's September 13th, bro. The second week in September. The second weekend of September, September 13th, bro. The fight is official. Now, I've already assessed some of the damage within my contact list. You know, some people have selected, you know, to try to attempt to talk to me offline. And I have no problem, you know, talking to you offline, but don't lecture me on anything. I mean, don't lecture me on shit. I mean, because it's not going to be a decent conversation, a healthy conversation. Don't lecture me on boxing talk though. Like, boxing talk shouldn't affect you personally on whether you want to communicate with somebody or not. That's why I say it's a fine line when it comes to maturity and life experiences, because the YTC has gotten these cats feeling retarded. I'm nothing against them. I'm just saying it has them looking retarded, acting retarded, and sounding retarded, yo. You know what I'm saying? You should get a lapel that say, I'm retarded. I wasn't born this way. I select to be this way. All because of boxing talk. You can't maintain a friendship because of boxing talk, nigga? Like, come on, bro. All I'm telling you is it's 232 days remaining, man. The hot grease is going to continue to cook, especially the naysayers that's trying their best to recover from July 29, 2023. A lifetime of memories will come from that very day. And no, we cannot overlook the resurgency. Now that the fight has been made official, Bernie has mentioned it. You know, when he was over there, I guess it was Fight Hype. And he said September 13th is on. So choices had to be made, man, with those Errol Spence fans that have been since in hibernation, seclusion, bunker. They've been down there making little short reels and movies, doing documentaries down there. The life below after July 29th. Now they're starting to make a resurgency. Now that the fight is made, they believe Canelo Alvarez has what it takes to go in there and give them some relief. So what I'm saying to you all is, if you're a naysayer Crawford hater, right, all you have to do is put your money on Canelo and feel safe. Just like you did Spence, put your money on Canelo and you should be good to go. That's my advice to you. As an older black man, a gentleman, of course, that's all I would suggest you to do. Go in the direction of your motherfucking passion. If you feel that Canelo is the man to get it done, put your house on it like Rolly said. Take that high risk like you did for Spence. Because all hell and high water, when Crawford go in there and take those belts, bro, you want to talk about goddamn, what was that movie, Total Recall? When you go outside, you had to have a mask. I mean, you couldn't go outside at all. If you did, you got burned up by the gas and shit. That's what it's gonna be, bro. Go look at Total Recall. That's how it's gonna be. Hey, shout out to Hot Grease Chronicles, man. Omaha Independence on his way September 13th. Hey, I'm calling for all the black fight fans to join together and support Terrence Bud Crawford, man. We need more unity when it comes to fights like this. You know what the Mexican fight fans would say? They would say, I would definitely support the Mexican fight fans if they were supporting the black fighter. If they was fighting a black fighter, it's not racism. A Latino, Hispanic, they do this shit all the time and tell you to your face, I'm supporting. Uh, 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 Look, even if it's a fighter that they don't like, that's Hispanic, Latino, Mexican, whatever, if they're fighting a black fighter, they say, I'm supporting them. I'm the Mexican fighter. Why do black fight fans act like they need permission to speak on that? It has nothing to do with racism, bro. That's just a cop out. I can see if you supported nothing but black fighters. But in this case, man, a lot of you black content creators have been on a tear trying to run a campaign talking bullshit. Dickhead over there, he was talking about the fight they fell through. But to his, you know what I'm saying, to his excuse, you know, he's been on the vacay in the padded room. So, you know, some of the shit he might come back, he might be a little bit loopy. I get it. But y'all be careful about clickbait. For real. Be careful about individuals that saying, you know, just coming up with all these stories, talking about the fight they fell through, and that's not the case. That's an absolute blatant ass lie. All right? So, I'm looking forward to this. As always, I want to read this article right quick, y'all. All right? I want to read this article from Boxing News 24. You already know. Crawford, Canelo confirmed for September 13th. As you're looking right there, most of the pictures that you will see out here of Crawford Madrimov is when Madrimov landed a shot, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Especially on Boxing News 24. They some haters. They some Crawford haters. Give it up. Chris Williams, the infamous numero uno, valedictorian of Crawford hateration. Give it up. He says, Coach Bernie the boxer has confirmed that Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is on September 13th. Clap it up. Yo, clap it up. Yo, clap it up. Clap it up. Yes, sir. Hoorah. That day's official. Those of you that said it wasn't, I want you to posture up, roll your shoulders back, take your dominant hand, which most of y'all is your right. I want you to extend it back, all right? Palm to the front. Raise it up into an L to 12 o'clock. And I want you to quickly swipe towards your face and slap the shit out yourself. Because you were out here spreading hate. It goes on to say, Bernie says Crawford, 41-0, 31 hosted knockouts, has earned the fight against unified super middleweight champion Canelo. With what he's accomplished, he doesn't need to move up to 168 to beat any other contenders to prove himself. What he did from 135 to 154 is enough. Give it up for Bernie. Give it up for Bernie. Bernie said, with what he's accomplished, he doesn't need to move up to 168 to beat any other contenders to prove himself. That's what they were saying. Look, they got David Benavidez with that shit. Hey, David, in order for you to fight Canelo, you got to fight Dimitri Boo Boo. And in the end, all he got on him was Boo Boo. Because Canelo didn't even consider Benavidez. He was listening to the fans too much. It goes on. Canelo Crawford confirmed. Bernie says Crawford's name will come first before Canelo's for the September 13th fight. That's hard to believe, obviously. It sounds like a hustle from Crawford and his team. But if Turki Al-Sheikh is willing to pay for the 38-year-old, he's 37, y'all, but they keep calling him we in the first quarter of 2025, and he doesn't turn 38 until September. Haters! 38 years old, Bud to go up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo. That's what he wants. Depending on what the purses are for Canelo and Crawford, it might turn a profit. I don't think it will if the pay-per-view price is low. Canelo will be the one bringing in fans because Crawford isn't a pay-per-view draw. Even with the fight against Madrimov, with the undercard loaded with great fights last August, it didn't bring in many buys. Hey, give it up for Boxing News. The toilet bowl. I'm talking about. I'm talking about the toilet bowl, the community toilet bowl. I'm talking about one of them community piss buckets that you find on a farm of boxing media. This place right here. That's why I want to educate people when they come and read this shit, how biased they are. A super fight, mega fight, why would he need to do that after all he's accomplished and all he's shown in the ring? Why would he do that? Said Coach Bernie, the fight hype, reacting to criticism from fans who feel that Crawford should prove himself at 168 to show he deserves a fight against unified super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez. Okay, let's talk about that D word. No, hold up. Not the ones that these other cats around here love goddamn having in their jaws. No, not that. We're talking about the deserve word, right? So to peep this out, as I remember correctly, when Canelo was making these moves up there to 168 from 60, he fought a Rocky Fielding. Did he fight somebody of stature? Did anybody look at him and say, man, you know that Rocky Fielding fight, man, we knew you was going to stop him in third round from a body shot, man. But we knew he wasn't a 50-50 fight either, man. Why do you fight him? It's just like a freebie. It's just like you got him off the street and you say, hey, he has a Reggie belt. Let me go up there to 68 and take him out. It was easy. It's called cherries. Oh, cherries. He's cherry picking once again. Give it up. He's picking up those cherries, y'all. Shout out to Canelo. You know what I'm saying? This deserve thing. Why does it all of a sudden become a factor when Crawford name is placed in there? Why does he have to face somebody 168? That's not how it goes. That's not written in law. Is that in the bylaws of boxing? Is that in the Ali Act? Whenever a fighter moves up to a higher division, they must fight an opponent first. Well, guess what? It could be worse, y'all, because you know back in the day with the BBOC back in the early 1900s, you want to hear something funny? You couldn't even be a title contender unless both of your parents was white. Moving on, it could be worse, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It could be worse. But back in the day for the BBOC, you couldn't fight for a title unless both of your parents was white back then, shawty. So that means if it was to go down today, right? If that was still in effect, well, let's just say it was over here. It'd be a lot of people, you know, who are content creators be buying that Sammy Sosa special, and they'd be saying, hey, mom and dad, I need this title, man. Can y'all start applying this lotion? And come on now, I need for you to start, goddamn. Dad, you need to hurry up because you've been out there on, you dark as shit, man. You need to hurry up. You need to get that shit on now. I need for y'all to be white by tomorrow night. Super fight, mega fight. Let me see, where am I at? Super fight, mega fight. Why would he need to do that after all he's accomplished and shown in the ring? Why would he do that? Said Bernie the Boxer, reacting to criticism from the fans who feel that Terrence Crawford should prove himself at 168, show he deserves a fight against super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez. The things he's done have hardly been done before. Two-time undisputed, unified champion in 3 weight divisions, but won 4 divisions. He's been on the pound-for-pound list for better than 10 years. What more can you ask for? We didn't get the Pacquiao fight or the Mayweather or anyone of that caliber. This is a fight, said Bernie. Come on, man. He said this is the fight. Crawford didn't fight great opposition to become a 2-division undisputed champion. He was like another Adrian Broner winning 4-division world titles against marginal opposition. Terrence never beat great fighters to win any of these titles in any weight division. He was maneuvered well to avoid him getting beat. Well, I can mention several times where I've said that boxing doesn't consist of a murderous row of opposition for a selection process. It's just not being produced in the labs. You know, cloning is not yet effective. I would say maybe 20 years from now, the top 15 will be a group of individuals that have been known to be Neuralink certified, and they was cloned from a lab, and they have a record that's undefeated from top 1 all the way down to 15. Until then, we have to deal with what we're naturally reproducing. Fighters Crawford beat a 2-time undisputed. Get ready for the hate, y'all. All right. Welterweight 147. Let's have a moment of silence. Let's have a moment of silence. Because every time I see that welterweight 147, it's a lot of victims that Crawford had. I got to have a moment of silence, goddammit. Center, breathe, bring it down. This right here, it hits home. You know what I'm saying? When I think of what he did at 147, I think to myself, I said, oh my God, all that ass he was kicking, all those heads he was turning, jaws he was cracking. I was like, did he have to be so violent? The first name on the list. No, I have to go in other order. Julius Ndongo, 140 pounds, was the last victim prior to Crawford moving away from that division, vacating the belts, and making his debut at 147 pounds. Okay? Look at how they're going all the way back. Victor Postal, the WBC. Thomas Delorme, when Delorme was not coming off 2 losses, but he was undefeated when he fought Crawford. Okay? So, this where it gets interesting with the 147 pounds, because he only provides Jeff Horn as a credible fighter just because he had a belt. So, as we've seen in boxing, you can win a belt. It doesn't mean you have what it takes to retain the belt. And basically an extension off the 140 pounds of who he fought, and the knockout of what I call the stopping spree at 147 pounds, it continued. Yes, he went up there and beat the big Aussie, Jeff Horn, won the WBO championship. Not just went the distance, but he stopped him. He had plenty other names that was there, that was quality, undefeated, worthy championship contenders. But yet, the haters like this just want to say Jeff Horn and Errol Spence, the first and the final name that he fought at 147 pounds. So you give no credit to Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Green Machine. No credit. Jose Benavidez, no credit. I'm just saying, get no credit for that shit. Why? Errol Spence Jr. highlighting that name. That name right there is going to be for decades and decades to come. Crawford, kids, is going to be going in there. Granddaddy, where you at, Granddaddy? I had a stressful day at school, Granddaddy. They had a boxing topic, and they were talking about how you beat this guy up so bad, Granddaddy, that he couldn't even come back to fight. They say the dude looked one way when the fight was being announced, and then after, he didn't even look like the same guy. He almost got locked out the arena because they thought it was some transient off the street trying to get in. He just went outside and took a piss. He tried to come back in and say, no, you don't have the credentials to do this. I just got through fighting. You don't look like no fight I've seen tonight. Hey, his kids gonna be talking about Granddaddy. You beat up a lot of people in your lifetime, Granddaddy. Hey, all I'm saying is Errol Spence's name will be on the bad part of history when Crawford's name is the topic. Whether they say that this is one of the more notable names on his resume at 147, and his notable on his resume, period. He's still there. This fighter, Errol Spence, showed a desire and willpower to keep on getting off the canvas. I give him much due credit for that. You know what I'm saying? But Crawford is pretty much, a fighter that stays in tune with all the negativity, and the way he sit up there and executed that dominating performance against Errol Spence will forever be in the history books, man. It will forever be etched in the boxing annals from here to eternity, bro. When Crawford get my age, man, people still gonna somehow, some way be on here talking about boxing if it still exists. And every time his name come up, they're gonna bring up Errol Spence. Now the good thing about that is the haters, they're gonna be too old to put in the same amount of energy they did back then. They're gonna be busy trying to grab brown paper bags and vomiting in there. My health ain't got no better since 2025, all that hating. They're going to tell you how sick they've been for the last 25 years because they put too much emphasis in hating on YouTube. Seriously, bad health and everything, yo. Blood sugar all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? All they do all day is stay close to a bathroom and vomit in a paper bag. Hey, dog, you hating ass motherfuckers, dog. Boy, why did you do it to him, Crawford, for real? Man, come on, man. I know you got the qualifications, and they was talking ill shit about you, man. But god damn, man. Boy, them theories are always going to be intriguing for me to talk about. Man. You know what I'm saying? One thing I just have so low tolerance about is when people try to bring in hypotheticals. It's no hypotheticals on that fight, bro. I don't want to hear shit about no weight drain, none of that. Crawford beat the brakes off Spence, and now he's about to goddamn head into September for the biggest fight of his career. And look, it's people put on this earth to do things that stand out from most. They are. It's just while they're in the process of doing it, they don't get the amount of support because good bows before evil, like I always say. They're not willing to put the positivity first. They're not willing to have a higher percentage of belief to say, I believe this person can get it done. No, they're going to say, oh, man, I'll see it when I see it, man. Oh, no, man. My eyes telling me I'm going off the eye test, man. I just don't see this. I mean, that's just the way we are as humans, man. Like, the switch stays on all the time. People just not willing to see special when special is showing them, hey, I'm just that. I'm different from everybody else. If you get a person that fits the nomenclature, right? They like 6'8", physiqued out. They had parents who were stars. They fit the package. So the expectation, the high, the volume of expectation is already high. But they had help genetically, right? They had help genetically. With Crawford, we don't know. We know for a fact his dad was a boxer, but it wasn't somebody that when we mention boxing and say, hey, so-and-so was a multi-division champion, this, that, and the other. I can understand. And then, his mom was a track star or basketball. You had that dual dynamic when it comes to the chromosomes linking up together to produce the seed that's now out here going for their 5th division, 3 division undisputed, and doing some greatness. But yet he's not the favorite amongst the people because that's usually how it is when you're great. You're not going to be the guy that's the guy or the girl that's user friendly. You're not going to be the fan favorite. Because you get to a point where you have these humans that want to see you face adversity. They want to break down the testament of a man. You know what I'm saying? They want to break it down and remind you the testament of a man is not where he's at, doing comfort and convenience. is where he stands doing challenge and controversy. Can I get a amen? That's how it is. That's just the facts. That's just the facts, man. Look in the archives. You know what I'm saying? That hate, that hate gene that humans have. Oh my God. That judgmental gene, it ain't going nowhere, bro. It ain't going nowhere. The chemistry, until, we have to be manually programmed to get rid of that. The gene is there. We have to be on a daily dose of melatonin, something to, enact those endorphins to get us in a calm state. Or else you're just gonna be a hating ass motherfucker in times, And Crawford, unfortunately, he is one of the poster boxers. That's one of the greats of this era. But for whatever reason, he's being consistently excoriated in the media. But it is some good to it, though. There's some people like myself and many others who support him heavy. You know what I'm saying? And just can't wait till these days to tick away. It's going to be one of those special moments, man. Let's go on to say, size don't matter. The guy Canelo is bigger and has a lot of experience. He's young. Canelo is 34, 35. So you see right here that they're guessing on Canelo's age, but they're saying Crawford is 38 every time that they write an article. Something like that. Nothing ever comes easy to us. We never got Pacquiao or a guy our size with global. Oh, that's they quoting Bernie. My bad. Pacquiao or a guy our size with global impact that he has. They made sure they stayed away from us. It's not different, said Bernie. It goes on to say, you can argue that Crawford is dodging fighters of his own late in his career the same way Pacquiao did when he was 37 or 38 and showed no interest in fighting him. Crawford isn't rushing to fight Jaron Ennis, Bakram Murtazalayev, Virgil Ortiz, or Sergey Boychuk. He's done the same thing Pacquiao was late in his career, picking and choosing. So now Crawford's you're trying to compare Crawford to Pacquiao in a way that doesn't highlight he's one of the greats also like Pacquiao in this era. And they have some names and some fights that they will remember and some achievements they'll remember. Just like I said earlier, 8 division champion. He's the only one in that class. Crawford would always be in a class of his own, being the first male fighter to be 2 division undisputed, amongst all the other collective accolades. But this guy's talking about he should fight Jaron Ennis, who's not even considered a great fighter. Murtazalayev, he has one fight, man. One freaking fight. Virgil Ortiz. Come on, bro. Virgil Ortiz just got off the canvas with Boychuk. And they're up here saying Crawford should fight these dudes. That's what they're saying. If Crawford got off the canvas twice against Boychuk, this article would be worse than it is. Moving on. We can take on tough challenges and we beat them. So they give us Canelo Alvarez, a hard puncher and IQ of just the same caliber and a legend. That's the only challenges Crawford looked for. And it was only right. We deserve this challenge to be on the big stage in a mega fight, in a super fight, in what we call a David versus Goliath battle. Again, we have a lot of disadvantages in this fight. As far as weight, as far as power, and a lot of other things on par as far as accomplishments and skill set. We will climb that mountain. It's on, baby. September 13th, look forward to it. Crawford versus Canelo. As I said, Crawford versus Canelo. Yeah, it's confirmed. Crawford versus Canelo, not the other way around. Okay. Team Crawford stands up pound for pound, the best in the world, soon to be super middleweight champion of the world, said Bernie. Shout out to Bernie the boxer, man. Talking that talk. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Let me sit up here and grab that right quick. So I can put that up there for the replay gang. Gang. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna put that up there so they can read what Bernie put up there. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, this is only the first quarter of 2025. we have that fight with Soko going on tomorrow for him to go in there and show out against Pacheco and get that victory, so he can get that even bigger title fight. At the end, shout out to the hottest chat in the game, the hottest chat in the MFing game. We got the fight. Yes, sir. We got the fight after they said it couldn't happen, it can't happen, it won't happen. We got the fight, shawty. You have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to y'all, man. Y'all continue to support the channel. Hit the button on your way out. We should do it again another day, another time. I'm out. Peace.